to hear. I don't think anybody had a really good New Year's Eve celebration because I never saw any of your names in the police blotter. But I am curious how many people actually in this room actually stayed up until midnight to welcome in the new year. Maybe I should ask how many did not. I myself fell asleep about 10 o'clock, but I woke up at 10 minutes to 12. So. Well, let's get this meeting started with some happy bars. Anybody have any? All right in front of us. Zone Chairman Morelli.
President Ken, fellow Lions and guests. I have a happy buck because I get to celebrate my wedding anniversary with Steve. We're headed to the Cannon Beach favorite place as we speak after this meeting. So, yeah. Anyway, I've got a happy buck from Russ Case. He has been homebound for quite a while, and he's hoping that maybe this next month he'll be able to get out and about. He's looking forward to being back in the club sometime soon. So that's from Russ. And the other dollar is actually a sad dollar. I wanted to report on a couple of fellow Lions in our Lions family. Kalama Lion Helen Hutchinson. The Hutchinson family is 3 generations strong at that club, and Helen passed away this last week. So if you want to send your condolences, send them out. I believe it was January 4th. And the other one I wanted to report on was past council chair Bob Bradley from Wenatchee Central. Past council chair Hal was a district governor the year that he was a council chair. Where's Hal? There you are.
Bob Bradford.
Good Bob Bradford. Sorry, I said Bradley. Anyway, and I believe there were some other members in our club that were involved when he was in high leadership. So I just wanted to report that to you. Bill Carter, you were too? Okay. That's it.
Gail Bradley, did you get those names for your sunshine report?
Anybody else at this table have some happy bucks? Hi, Dolly.
President Ken, fellow Lions and guests, too many happy dollars, can't remember, but we did a first, or at least I did a first. We actually babysat New Year's Eve, and we fell asleep at 9 o'clock.
We were done too.
Actually, it was till 9:30, but we still missed. We always... Who? Oh! 2 weeks, a long time for old memory. President Ken, fellow Lions again.
That's worth an extra dollar.
Pardon, sir?
That's worth an extra dollar.
Yes, sir.
Where's your pig, President?
Oh, Spirit Day today.
Anyway, I was just going to say, our routine is at 9 o'clock. We join with New York, and we're wishing very New York happy Christmas. But this time, we didn't do that. However, at midnight, we woke up to the sounds of moving and banging and everything. So, we guessed and said, Happy New Year. That was it. Nothing else.
I see some happy dollars over on this side. We'll start with Gregory.
President Ken, fellow Lions and guests, happy dollar. Eric Lipke had his open heart surgery 2 weeks ago, and he's doing well. They thought they were going to have to do a quintuple bypass, and they ended up doing a quadruple, so saved one. Anyway, he's doing well, and his wife Julie had her hip replaced on Thanksgiving, the day before Thanksgiving, so they've both been out of it. So I've been running around helping them a little bit, and yeah. But I've been playing cribbage with Eric a little bit, and he's been beating me. But he cheats. But I can't hold it against him because he's kind of recovering. So I'll get him. Anyway, thank you. And I'm also thankful that Clemson beat Alabama last night handily. And I've already thanked Lloyd for having the Cougars and Oregon win their games. The Huskies couldn't come close, so what can I say? Thanks.
Hand that to Pastor Chairman or District Governor Markey.
President Ken, fellow Lions and guests, $5 today. Dollar number one, after several weeks, it's really nice to be back with Lions family again, so I enjoy that. The other four are kind of update dollars on my family search. Some of you had heard about a month ago when I was here about being connected by a half-sister to a DNA test. Well, I was able to go over to Ellensburg on the Saturday between Christmas and New Year's and meet her. First time in my life I was actually able to hug a birth relative, which was kind of nice. Also had a chance to talk to my brother who lives in Tucson. I have not yet talked to my sister, but I was telling Cindy lives in Priscilla, Alaska, of all things. My sister Carrie that connected with me is coming here Saturday, so I'm looking forward to that. And last, I'm trying to get information. If anybody knows Earl or Mitzi Kemper from the Longview area, let me know. Apparently Mitzi is my biological aunt, and they lived in Longview for their lives. So if somebody has a connection, that might be helpful, because I'd really like to talk to Earl to find out some information. So thank you.
Go ahead and hand it to Cindy if you would, please.
Making yourself look easy. President Ken, fellow Lions and guests, I have $5. We had a great Christmas with Jim's parents, and we had a great New Year's. Of course, I, being the night owl that I am, and you know this is true because I hate board meetings, I was in bed at 8:45 on New Year's Eve, and Jim stayed up till 11:45. Go figure, he's the early bird. Just had a great time, so thank you.
Well, might as well hand it to past President John. Hi, guys.
Gare Bear, one of the best practicing tail twisters I've ever seen. Especially when you're looking for my hidden button. President Ken, fellow Lions and guests. My first happy dollar is the Christmas and New Year's holidays, being around family and having a great time. Had my 6 grandsons lined up in a row, all in fighting position. Don't know how that's going to go. Been doing a lot of fishing because work's slow. I don't know if that's my fault or not. And the last happy dollar is, believe it or not, Mark's sentiments about missing all of you is true for me too.
Lion Walter, you got a happy buck out here. President Ken, fellow Lions and guests, I just have a quick happy dollar. Quite a number of you have asked Ray what happened to her nose, and I'm happy to report that she's healing up well. She's able to listen better when I talk to her. I see a gentleman with a whole bunch of happy dollars here. Hopefully they're all happy.
Murray.
And Ken told me to pick up the pace a little bit. Mostly I'll keep this. President Ken, fellow Lions and guests, I got to figure out what this happy dollar is for. Well, my sister lives in California and my brother lives in Tennessee, if anybody wondering about where they are. I'm happy that Alabama got taken. I'm happy. I also went to Ellensburg and took my grandson back after the holidays. I'm happy to be over there and to get back because the next day it snowed and sleeted and everybody crashed. So I'm happy we didn't do that. And another happy dollar. I'm going to crash right now. Anybody at this table? Bill? Hi, Bill. USC didn't lose the whole game.
Yeah, don't get up.
Let him up.
Hey, my Ken, it's all I have to guess. My name is Bill Pontius, and I am a very proud Lions Club member.
I'm glad that there's not a 12-step program for that.
President Ken, fellow Lions and guests, I got a couple happy bucks for the holiday, and the other, and family, and the other two that are left over there. I'll be gone for the next couple of weeks. Be there.
Zone Chairman Georgie.
President Ken, fellow Lions and guests, got a couple happy dollars. One, Christmas Eve, made our usual trip to Bellingham and spent our 63rd year at my aunt's for Christmas Eve. She was 97, she'll be 98 on the 30th of this month. So, anyway, the other happy dollar is that thank God the holidays are over. They finally ended on Saturday.
George, are you gonna finish the story about Ellen getting lost up on the timber trail? You're gonna tell the rest of the story about you getting lost up on the timber trail? No? Okay.
Story for another time, evidently. Pass on Chairman Greger.
President Ken, fellow Lions and guests, $2 today. First one, Brother Mike, Sister Susan, of course, brother-in-law Dick, and a bunch of us went down to Arizona. Our brother's 95th birthday after Christmas. We had a really nice time down there. Weather was sunny every day, but it was cold. And the other dollar, I don't know about coming back up here, that damn windstorm. I've got 90 feet of fence to fix.
Patsy.
King Lions, fellow Lions and guests, I have $3. So,
I think it's still working.
Anyway, we went up to Tacoma and met our daughter and her family to Uncle Vincent and had a nice Christmas morning. Came back home Christmas morning. We went down to Sweet Home and got to spend with our son and his family, which makes Christmas very nice. And then the last dollar is our first grandson got married on the 5th of January, and we're wonderful to be able to celebrate that. That is very special when your grandkids get married. President Ken, fellow Lions and guests. Well, I haven't said that for a long time. Anyway, at Christmas time, I didn't get to see my stepmom, but I talked with her, and she turned 98 on Christmas Eve. And then my aunt down in California, I talked with her, and she's 98. I just can't believe it. But they did good. And my another dollar is my granddaughter Sydney and her husband are in India right now. They've been traveling the world for the last 6 months, so we'll be back home in a year and a half. But it's really neat, and I got to talk to her FaceTime. So I had a good holiday. Oh, and I had a real good holiday with that too.
I don't see the Band-Aids on the bridge of your nose, but you appear to have some longevity in your family. Hey, Hal. Passed everything?
Hey, thank you, Tail Twister Gary, and Kathy, and President Ken, to all Lions and guests. Well, everybody here, are they jealous of my hat? No. I know a couple that might be. You know, we didn't cook it, and we're happy. That's the way it is. And we taught the Huskies how to cook it, apparently. Okay, second happy dollar. 49th anniversary. Can you believe that? That makes yours 48, right, Grandma and Steve? 48. Are we on the back right?
First one, I'm so glad my brother Patrick is healthy again, so I don't have to work the coffee today. And you're right, the passing of Bob Bradford. The passing of Bob Bradford, yes. Not only was he the council chairman when I was governor, when we formed the committee that put together the Northwest Lions Leadership Institute, he was our first superintendent in Wenatchee. That was great. And I got to give this extremely happy dollar for Markel. I read the post on Facebook that my wife had, and she was so excited for you because she had long conversations with you. Do it, do it, do it. It'll be worth it. So, from my wife to you, congratulations.
When do we get the rest of the story?
Yes, I'm on my own. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, happy dollars, happy, happy.
Yeah, we got 5 minutes.
Yes, sir, happy, yeah. King Lion, Ken Lion, yeah, Ken Lion King, there we go. Fellow Lions, yes, yeah, I have like $3 happy dollars, I get some change or so. On, my wife Bonnie retired at the end of the year, so she's retired. To celebrate that, she fell down the stairs on the 9th and broke a rib and cracked another one. So she's, I've been her housekeeper for a while, which is, I hope she goes back to work soon.
I bet she loves you too.
King Lion, fellow Lions and guests, I'm happy to see Dwayne Smith here. He's the only guy I know that can be gone on vacation about 11 months a year.
You got the right job.
Well, let's just keep on going down the, hi Joe, greetings, and Kurt, long time no see. Anybody happy bucks here? Oh, hi Patrick.
Oh boy, oh boy. Nice to see you too, you bunch of
Do you have any doubt?
Happy $5 there, President Ken, fellow Lions and guests. Hal kind of alluded to it. First happy buck is for 3 weeks of pneumonia and 3 weeks of antibiotics that finally have got me to this point of almost being human. So this is as good as it gets for 2019. You better love it. Yeah, drugs have always worked. Let's see. Second or third, whatever, happy bucks have to do with all the great football. One of the good things about being down with pneumonia is I got to catch up on about 47 series and watch all of them all the way through on TV because sitting in the seat was pretty much the end of the work at the end of the day. So, fourth happy buck is a thank you to Brother Hal for holding down the fort while I was incapacitated, is the best way to say it. And the fifth happy buck is a big howdy to Bill Pontius. Nice to see you, man. And it's nice to see John Morelli back. And of course, the Dangy twins. It's always great to have you in the house. And oh, Charlie, you made it back too. I mean, that's awesome. So, no, want me to shut up? Yeah. Oh, past presidents, Cindy.
Let me do a selfie here. President Ken, guests and members, I have $1 here for thank you for getting the storage unit for the Christmas ornaments for the Lions Island because we've gone all day and I got Christmas put away. Of course, he came back and put the rest away outside. And $1 is for. Oh, I know, but there was something else. Well, there's $1. My big buck. I wouldn't have a beach. It was a wonderful holiday. It was great. And then the last $1 is I'll be gone for 2 weeks. Oh! I'm having foot surgery, and they're going to. Yeah, so,
we've gone through everybody in the audience here, let's go to the head table. You want to try that microphone out, Ken, and see if it's the batteries seem to have
It works.
remedied it? Go for it. Oh, okay, well, let's do Philip first. You want change?
President Ken Phillips, yes, 5 sad happy dollars. On December 16th, I lost one of the best friends a person could ever have. Many of you knew her. Bobby Matilla was 96 years old. It was a blessing that she passed. Her last 2 weeks were very, very difficult, but she was a very special person, one of the most wonderful people I've ever known. It hurts to have to say goodbye.
I, of course, met her when I worked for you at the Humane Society a few years ago.
Leroy.
Leroy? Vice President Leroy. Oh, let's give it to John, okay.
President Ken, Lance, and guests, I'm back.
Yeah.
Not only am I back, we actually moved back to Longview. We now live back in Longview from Hillsborough after
You got
2.5 years
perfect
away.
attendance now.
I have perfect attendance. No, I
Yeah.
just ruined my perfect attendance.
Good.
I attended. So here we are.
President Ken Phillips, yes. Yeah, it's been a few weeks since we've all been together and everything. My Christmas time was fun. There's my happy dollar for that, and just glad to be back.
Your turn.
Fellow Lions and guests, I have 3 happy dollars.
Whoa!
But I'm passing those along as a special request. My lovely wife said she is donating $3 to the Happy Fund, and she wouldn't do it because she would have to pay homage.
Don't see any Band-Aids on your nose either.
Opening prayer by Lion Holtzbeck.
Heavenly Father, shine into our hearts the light of your wisdom, and open our minds to the knowledge of your word, that in all things we may think and act according to your good will. Please bless all of those who are currently challenged with any health problems, and please bless this food to our bodies and bless us in your service. Amen.
Amen.
Flag salute, Greg Churchill.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And the opening song by Secretary Lion Phil Folsom.
My country is of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of thy pilgrims pride, from every mountainside let freedom ring.
Introduction of our special guest, Bob Jessen.
President Ken and fellow members, we have Dolly Harvey as a guest today.
President Ken Phillips, a guest, a good friend, Doug Osterball.
Okay. And Doug has a couple guests.
Mr. President, all I suggest, I'm extremely honored to introduce to you our immediate past district governor from the Vancouver Dawn Lions Club, Bill Karcher.
Bill!
And the newest lion in his club, and also Bill's chauffeur, is Harry Barrett.
And Sue Skinner has a guest today.
I have my granddaughter, Zoe, and President Ken, fellow members and guests. I brought my granddaughter here today, Zoe, your birthday on Saturday, she'll be 4 years old.
And John Palmer Sr. has a guest today. We've been quite often seen together lately.
President Ken, fellow Lions guests, this is my future wife, B. Sue Simonson.
And with that, we welcome all of our guests to the Pioneer Alliance Luncheon today. And at this time, we would like to call on past District Governor Bill Karcher for his wit and wisdom and a special presentation to the Pioneer Alliance. Would shut that off. Here. Okay.
Anyway, I get to bring some things from out of the Lands International, which kind of excites me because three of them, the first three, took me a year and a half to get for you guys. So it's a little late, but the following years, you've got the Lions Legacy Copper, Lions Legacy Silver, Lions Legacy Gold, all for your park project. And it took so long because they thought I was still in the hospital. But Cindy, you need to come up here. Bring your camera for yourself. Come on. I have a little letter here, but I'm not going to read it all. I'll just tell you what it says. Basically, your club from last year is one of 9 in my district, which is Club Excellence Award winners. And I've been told that our district has more club excellence than anybody else. Have not verified that. I don't know if I want to either. Anyway, there's a patch for your thing. And Cindy, you get a gold medal. All right, that's it. I'm done. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Bill.
You're welcome.
That's a long walk for an old man. Zone report, Marilyn Patterson. Was that Hal Palmer's phone?
No.
Oh, it must have been Joe Daggy's.
President Ken, fellow Lions and guests, I have 2 announcements. The second Zone G1 meeting will be on Thursday, January 24th, which is coming up quickly, at 6:30. Our host is Castle Rock Lions, which I'm excited because they've never hosted a zone meeting. So they're very excited and got good plans. So I hope that you plan to attend. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be a leader. You can be any lion you want and come and enjoy the event and learn a lot about lions. Also, Cindy Pickett, who is visitation chair, has scheduled that as a visitation. So it's a good time if you're a new member to come and see what Lions is about in the zone as well. The other thing is I just want to remind you, coming up March 2nd is the Lions Learning Forum. Between now and then, I will have application forms filled out, or not, to be filled out. They'll be available at club meetings. And if you have questions about it, just come see me. It's a great event. It's free. Lunch is free. You can donate money while you're there if you want to help fray the cost. But education like this just doesn't come usually free. So District Governor Mark Manzel is kind of the founder of this event, and he's hosting it again this year at Cascadia in Vancouver. So it's not too far. We can always caravan. So those are the two things on my zone list. Education, you want me to take that or wait?
Well, go ahead, either you or George.
On the one that's got the schedule.
Do it now then.
Okay. So we're going to jump down to the Education Committee. First, I'd like to thank the Lions who participated in Roaring for Reading at Columbia Heights Elementary, where we gave out books. Jim Waters, Louis Fickett, Jim Woodworth, Ron Kramer, Wita Olson, Bill Hegwine, Shirley White, Sandy Katz, Steve Patterson, Doug Irvine, and myself, and we had a great time. I think everyone enjoyed it. I just wanted to thank those Lions. And then the other thing is, put us on your calendar, the Education Committee, those who have been involved in choosing scholarships. I need to have a meeting, and it's going to be Tuesday, January 22nd, right after our club meeting. So we'll just meet here, probably take about 30 minutes. So if you're on the Education Committee, please show up.
Sunshine Report, Gail Bradley and Cindy Sessions. You're first, Gail, you're the boss.
Okay, President Ken, fellow Lions and guests. Eric Lipke had open heart surgery 2 weeks ago with a 4-valve surgery, and Cindy Sessions probably has more on that.
I can just follow with Greg's comment. President Ken, fellow Lions and guests, that he's at home resting and cheating at cribbage, although he's not here to defend himself with that. What I was going to talk to you about is, all of you remember Tracy, a lot of us older members. She went in the hospital yesterday for surgery. Tracy McDaniel. She had to have a total hysterectomy, and they removed part of her large intestine and small intestine, and she won't have the results back. So we're praying that it's non-cancerous, because it would be really sucky for both of them to have cancer at the same time. So please keep both Daryl and Tracy in your thoughts and prayers. I talked to her today, and she's already walked a mile, so you know she's not given up.
Lions Island, Rex, you got anything?
President Ken, fellow Lions and guests, I want to thank everybody for all the help this year, putting all the lights up. Now I need your help again so we can take all the lights down. Tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock, we'll be down there with the city crew to start taking all the aerial stuff down. And Saturday morning at 9, me and work party to haul everything back to the shop. Come out if you can. Thanks.
You can do like Hal Palmer, leave them up alone.
Do you want to tell us about the new container at the building? Yeah. You talked to me for an hour before the club about it, so go ahead.
We purchased a new container. Yeah. He wanted me to do this, so. Anyway, we got a new container for all the lights, so even the older people now can, we don't have to haul them upstairs anymore. We can put them outside in the new container. So all you guys can come and help tomorrow. Thanks.
Did you happen to look around this club room when you mentioned older people? Thank you. Just curious. Greg Firth, Sight and Hearing.
President Ken, fellow Lions and guests, tomorrow night is our monthly Sight and Hearing Foundation meeting. Anybody's more than welcome to attend. It's over at Canterbury Park, 630, second floor. Also, in this morning's paper, there was a nice letter earmarked for hearing aids this year. So that will help us get through the year. We've already received approximately 15,000 in other grants. That plus the money like our club gives. Our club gives 5,000 each year. All that money gets us through the year. It is not cheap to provide eyewear and hearing aids. Hearing aids, give you an idea, are about $550 for a set. That is cheap, very cheap. And then the eyeglasses are running us about $125 a piece. So you can see where we're spending our money. Last year we provided roughly 270 pairs of eyeglasses, and we're on schedule to outdo that this year. So anyway, tomorrow night, 6:30, Canterbury Park. Thank you.
Thank you. And now we would like to take a minute to introduce, I don't know if I want to call it a short story or a special guest. We would like to introduce our guest program chair, Paul. We're talking about you. Stand up and talk about your white cane. See, Steve thought I was talking about him.
He said short.
President Ken Bellon suggests just a quick report on the bell ringing for the Salvation Army. That was clear back in December 15th. We had shifts in both doors of Walmart on Ocean Beach. Everybody showed. We had 2 people in every shift all day long. Had a great day. Got a little cool towards the end of the day. Just quickly thank these people: Cindy Pickett, Louis Pickett, Donna Justin, Bob Justin, John Claypool, Mark Kellis, Maureen Parsons, Marge Wixon, Kathy Carmody, Marilyn Patterson, Jim Waters, Doug Harvey, Bonnie Stein, Irv Stein, Jim Woodward, Vern Foster, Tom Fulton, Howard Malone, John Palmer Sr., and Sue Simon. Anyway, thank you all for showing the talk with them over at the Salvation Army. We collected the largest amount of any day at that particular site. It doesn't sound like as much as we collected at when we were at Fred Meyer, but there's a lot more traffic both doors at Fred Meyer. We collected $900. That was the best at that date for the season at that site. Thank you all.
Paul, thank you for sharing that. With that, now we come to the largest part of our program today. Way above in the clouds, our one and only Steve Patterson, who is our program chair.
Thank you, President Ken. And lines of guests, our guest today is really not a stranger.
Yes, he is.
He's a stranger to our meetings, but not to the club. He's been a member here for a long time. So we're going to save an application for somebody else. Did you pay your dues, by the way, John?
Did I pay my dues? Yes, he did.
Okay. John is John Morelli. He's the executive director at the Columbia Theater and has been since 2007, so he's going on his 12th year. Without further ado, to give him a chance to speak about some of the upcoming events, give a nice Lions welcome to John Morelli.
Hey, John!
Well, less. Hi, how are you, Ken? Good afternoon. Here we go. Calm it down here, John. Well, we had an eventful New Year's Day. Mary Kay and I, we packed. We moved our household and we moved back from Hillsborough to Longview. So we now live back in Longview. And I should have put a happy dollar out for the fact that when, just at the point Mary Kay was thinking, maybe I'll just retire from where I am so we can take care of our grandson here. Her old job at hospice came back up, and so Mary Kay's going back to work at hospice as if she never left. So we're both very happy about that. Not only that, because I think hospice is a wonderful organization and she's happy to go back there. But yeah, we had an interesting time moving back over the holidays, but that's been an absence of commuting back and forth between Hillsborough and here the last 2.5 years. So it's been a lot of work. What I want to share with you and talk about today is a lot of things that are happening. Give you an update on what's happening at the Columbia Theater, what has been happening, and what we're hoping to do. First of all, I know probably most of you know this, but let me just reinforce the fact that we are probably the most active performing arts center in a community our size and demographic as you would find anywhere in the country. It's a challenge, but it's something that we do, and we've done, and it's been a part of this community. We would not be able to do what we do if we didn't have a sense of support from this community. It's a great endeavor. It takes an awful lot of things, an awful lot of effort to make it happen, and we're grateful to all the support that we've received over the years. We started this year. Well, actually, we started last summer, with making a major game changer in the Columbia Theater's future by adding a chiller over at the Columbia Theater. I make this joke about the chiller cam on K-Log every Friday morning. But we did add, for the first time after 10 years, that since the renovation of the Columbia Theater, we added the chiller, which actually allows us to have air conditioning in the summertime, which is changing everything about all of our programming. It has always been in the past that we turn around and somewhere around the end of May or beginning of June, after people sweltered through the dance recital season, we said, "Hi, welcome tourists, we're closed." That's going to begin changing dramatically over this next year as we begin seeing the Columbia Theater, who is operated on 8.5 months out of the year, now start operating more times in a year. The problem, or the question, or the challenge for us is, in the summertime, what do we do when you can step out onto a sidewalk anywhere and listen north, south, east, or west and hear a free concert? So what are the kind of programming things that we're going to be doing, and we're exploring those right now, that really make it worthwhile coming into the theater in the summertime. And it's not just what we have the opportunity to do during the tourist season now, is to begin attracting people from further away or people on their way through. So when they stop at the visitor center and say what's going on, then we'll have some nice programming, I think, that people will enjoy. We'll see some good things happening, and I'll share some of that with you later. But one of the things that we've done over the last year and a half, is we entered into, when we knew that we were going to be making this transition into a full-time facility, and having to understand what the budget was going to cost us in budget to take those risks. We entered into an agreement, or entered into a consultancy with the DeVos Institute out of the University of Maryland. And that was a consultancy that was provided. We were one of 15 organizations in the Pacific Northwest selected to participate in this 2-year-long free consultancy. It's hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of consultancy, which has helped us and given us the courage to move forward and to take the risks and and meet the challenges that we need to move the Columbia Theater up to its next level. A lot of that has to do with the kind of programming. A lot of that has to do with the kind of marketing that we do, and it's just been a real game changer for us internally, as we start looking at the organization and say, how does an organization with 5 full-time staff members, add a number of part-timers, do basically over 100 events a year? That's a lot. I can just assure you, it's a lot to do. How do we do that? How do we sustain that? How do we make it happen into the future? And that's what we're working on. We feel pretty good about where we're going. Let me share a few statistics with you right up front. Since September, we've had 23 performances. Just a little under 11,000 people attend performances at the Columbia Theater, and that averages out to about 475 people per performance. That's a lot of people through our doors. I don't know if you have a reference to where that is, but that's a lot. That's a lot of people through our doors, almost 11,000 people. And we haven't even started the second half of our season yet. And so we've got a lot of that stuff going on for us. The addition of the chiller system, which completes our air conditioning for the summer, is very much due to the extension of bonds, working with the city of Longview and the Public Facilities District. Really, I can't say enough about the group of individuals of the Public Facilities District who helped to engineer the completion of this project. That doesn't happen very often in a community where you have a lot of people from a lot of different places saying this is really important and important enough for our community, and that we want to make this happen. So the ability to have that additional $600,000 to finish that chiller and complete this project after 10 years is really important, and I give great accolades out to the members of our Public Facilities District who oversaw that, and the City of Longview and the Columbia Theater who worked together to make that happen. We operate for the benefit of this community. That's all we do. And our job is to bring really good entertainment, to do really good community service for this community, and do it like no one else, like not very many other communities could do. So that's what we're most proud of doing. By mid-April, we will see 44. We will be at 44 events. And after we finish that, we'll have the dance recital season, which starts. So that by the time we get through the year, we'll be at 116 events that we will have performed. We will have put together for the Columbia Theater. It happens a little bit at a time, but it happens. And we've had a pretty spectacular fall. We're pretty proud of that work. We have an arts education program that is really beginning to blossom and take root as we begin to develop and find more and more grants to help us educate our younger kids and educate all of us in many respects to a lot of the programming, a lot of the things that we do, and a lot of things we can get out of the arts. You can go down the street right now and buy a ticket and see a show at the Columbia Theater, and you're going to be very satisfied, very satisfied. We're very pleased with what we've been able to do and pull together. We're taking more risks than we ever have, and we hope that the community will continue to do that, because this is about the time of year when I start having absolute, total sleepless nights because the cash starts going down and down and down, and then we have our Friends campaign, which helps us to bring it back up where it needs to be, and hopefully by the summer we're going to be able to sustain, rather than closing doors and living off of air for several months, for 3.5 months, we'll be able to start at least breaking even during the summertime so that we can do some things there. But it's going to take a while to make that happen. We do so many different kinds of programs, and over the years we've tested things here and tested them there. If they work, that's fine. Sometimes we've done a program where we've got to the end of it, said it was successful, but it took us forever to make it happen, and we have to reevaluate and say, maybe we'll put that away. The idea was good, but maybe it's not sustainable. But the whole attitude that we've taken at the Columbia Theater, we take in this community, is, and we hope that you would encourage that, is we're going to continue to take risks. We're going to continue to be, as we're calling ourselves, your Columbia Theater, always in motion. We're always trying something new, something different, to test it out, to know. Some things stick, and some of our programming that we're doing now are things that we just said, let's roll the dice and do this, and it's stuck. Sometimes we've done something and said, we'll pull back on that a little bit, great idea, but we'll try it again later at a time when we grow big enough to be able to handle that. With 5 full-time staff members, that's a lot of programming that we put onto the stage, and we have a lot of fun doing that, and we're deeply dedicated. Could not do it without a whole group of people who sit back and say, we're just dedicated to making it happen. It's not about, there's nobody in it for the money, but it's kind of, it's fun in its own way. It's challenging, and we hope that you will appreciate it yourself as we go through. I put a little sheet on your paper, a little paper on here, and that's just one sheet. We actually have a little brochure, a big brochure that's going out for the second half of the season. And I want to share with you just some of the things that we're doing. Some of them are brand new, some of the things we've added this year, and just give you a little sense of what's going on. In January alone, we will start our winter theater project with our kids. Starting that project will go all the way through March. We will have Peter Yarrow of Peter, Paul, and Mary here. If you have and I'm looking out over the crowd here. All of us know who Peter, Paul, and Mary are. I can tell some of my ticket office staff, I said, Peter, Paul, and Mary, and they look at me like, who? If you haven't gotten a ticket for that, I would encourage you. It's going to be really quite a wonderful evening of sharing old Peter, Paul, and Mary tunes, part sing-along, part new music that he's doing, but really kind of harkens back to the age of the 60s and the folk era, and he's really quite a wonderful thing. Tied together with that is something that we try to do every year, and this is my project for this year. And I may have shared with you the story, or I've shared with a few people the story of how I came across, how I decided to bring Peter Yarrow in. But there's an educational component called Operation Respect, which he's been involved with for about 25 or 30 years, which is about bullying. And I talked to them about doing this a couple of years ago. It never quite made it there, but we are now doing that. So we will see on the 17th of January, we will see 1,600 students from Longview, all of Longview's 4th and 5th graders, Rainier and Kalama. It stopped there. That's where it ended. We'll be bringing their 4th, 5th, and some of them 6th graders in for this project called Operation Respect, and it's on bullying. And it's what Peter Yarrow has been doing for a number of years, and Paul Stuckey, who is still around. Mary Travers passed away a number of years ago. But he'll be doing this project, which is really great. I'm really grateful to Dan Zorn, to Michael Carter, and to the folks in Kalama for just very quickly saying, we want to be a part of this, because they understood what it was about. And so we'll have a whole program for the kids, and it doesn't cost the kids anything. It costs the schools some time for their buses and to get the kids there. But we have, a long time ago, our guild, through the Eloise Pepper Arts Education Fund, provides the money to say, we'll cover that $5,000 or $6,000 gap that it costs to pay those extra fees for Peter Yarrow to do those 2 performances. So he's going to be doing that. Then on the 18th, he does a full evening length concert, and it's going to be really quite a wonderful and warm evening. Well, I think we could all use a sing-along about right now. And I think we should do that. I know. Okay. I'm going to just bring a couple. There's another show I just want to bring your attention to. If you haven't, it's very rare that I would tell people, buy tickets sight unseen, but we have a group coming in called the Choir of Man. It's the best pub show you've ever been. They sell beer on stage. We have a lot of fun with it. It's coming in a month from yesterday, so it'll be here on February 7th. I mean, this is going boom, boom, boom rapidly. And we added 3 new shows to our season. One is we're going to be doing the Phantom of the Opera, Lon Chaney's Phantom of the Opera, with live music with members of the Vancouver Symphony Orchestra, a quintet of them, and a guy named Rodney Sauer who does this. So it's going to be the full evening of live music and a silent film. For that, we've added 2 of our stage door concerts. We're just announcing those now. Those happen on stage. There's only about 60 people, and we're doing a show, Liberace and Liza, and it's absolutely spectacular. It's fabulous, is what I'll say for that. It's a fun show for that, and we're also bringing in Happy Days Are Here, again, a tribute to Barbra Streisand and Judy Garland. So those are 3 of the new shows that we're bringing into the season. The rest of it is just going to be a fun show all the way through. If you are on our mailing list, you'll receive a brochure in the mail, which gives a second next 4 months of what we're doing, the programming. And since we're adding more and more, you're probably going to hear from us every 4 months with another grouping of other shows that we're doing. So we're looking forward to having a great season. We're at back half of the season at the Columbia Theater. As always, we're really probably in the best financial shape we've ever been in, but that can change overnight, like the weather. We will continue to do the work we do with honesty, with integrity, and we hope that you will be with us and join us and make it a part of your lives. Thank you very, very much.
Step aside, Sonny.
Hey, Shorty.
John, thank you so much for being here today. In appreciation, we have a Lions Club mug for you. And if we can get you back here maybe once a year in 6 years, you'll have a full 6-pack. Thanks again, John.
We welcome all of you to that. Thank you very much for coming today. Enjoy the Columbia Theater. It's fantastic, especially Peter Yarrow.
I don't want to